Hey everyone, it's Lethal, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you and talk about how to win more fights, how to set yourself up for better engagements with enemy players, how to take less damage, all of that in one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. Also, if you're not already using my supporter credit code in the item store, consider using code lethal_Heir next time you go buy something. Appreciate it. So let's get into it. There are a lot of things that will determine whether you win or lose a fight, and a lot of that is how good you are, how smart you are, how fast you react, how good the enemies are, the angles that they get on you. But most important thing is preventing your enemies from thinking. Like, don't give your enemies too much time in a fight. Sometimes it might benefit you to kind of slow things down, but the more you slow things down, the more time you give your enemies to do things like heal, strategize, and reposition themselves. And also, you don't want your enemies to revive a knocked player. So finishing a fight very quickly is important to having good fights that you don't really take a lot of damage in. And also, after you're done with the fight, being able to take on more fights. The less damage you take, obviously, the more health you're gonna have. So the next fight that comes, if someone third parties you, you're not sitting there one shot and running for your life immediately as soon as you hear someone grappling on you or shooting at you. So number one tip, think fast, act fast, finish fights quickly. A typical fight is going to be, medium to long range. You're shooting with AR or sniper or whatever. You do some damage. As soon as you do damage, could be 50 damage, 100 damage. And by 50, I mean you've cracked their overshield and you do 50 additional, not or you just crack their overshield and 0 builds and then you push. Now, if you play builds, this isn't going to really matter. You do 50, 60 damage, definitely push, be aggressive, keep your enemy from healing, because in this game, there's not a single heal that's going to heal you unless they just harvest mushrooms all day. You do 50 damage that's not overshield, your enemy's going to have to drink a chug or a big pot just to get their shield back. And also, if you've broken their overshield, you don't want to give it time to come back, otherwise that 50 damage meant nothing. So damage at medium to long range, close the distance with mobility, of course, and then finish the fight close to medium range while avoiding taking any damage. Tip number 2. Now, this is just depends on if you actually have any skins in the game, because you might not. I mean, it's 2023 and there's still a lot of new people to this game. Having no skins in the game is kind of a good thing. When you're buying skins and stuff, if you're on console, you probably don't know this, but the more effects you have, the more input delay that you have, the worse your game performs. Just because, you have something that's cool looking, you want to wear it, I understand, but it might be making you suffer. Even if you're on PC, having skins with effects and stuff like that, weapon wraps with effects, glider, contrails, and things like that can really slow down your game, ruin your mobility, make you an easier target to hit, because the brighter your character is, the easier you are to see. And if you're wondering why you're getting headshot all the time, it could be something as simple as wearing a really big character that has a big hitbox. Those 3 things right there: effects, the size of your character, the brightness of the colors on your character can make it really easy to see or hard to see. So you want to take care of those things. If you really just want to go full performance FPS, a full sweat, wear solid color superhero skin, or like some skin that's a default character, a skin that doesn't really have a lot of effects, something plain, colors that kind of match and blend in with the background. That way when you're standing still, you're not really easy to spot. It's all personal preference what you want to wear, but I noticed that a lot of my darker skins, the ones that aren't really bright, I do better wearing those in builds or 0 builds, simply for the fact that I'm not that visible. Imagine trying to hide in the bush and you've got a red and orange glowing skin. You're gonna get seen. Do what you do with this information. If you want to win more games, this is one thing that's a minor tip, but I think it helps a lot, and it's the reason why pro players don't run around with the most effect intensive skins when they're doing tournaments. All right, next up. So if you want to win more fights, I've given this tip before, but I'm going to continue to sneak this tip into all of my future videos. With weapons that have a lot of bloom, yeah, I know that you're going to miss your shots. It's going to increase your bloom, like blah, 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 blah. But you can't shoot anybody if you've been headshot by a sniper. So for that reason, don't just stand there and carefully take every single one of your shots when you're actively being aimed at. This goes against all advice about weapon bloom, trying to reduce your bloom and things by standing perfectly still and crouching. But just because you crouch doesn't mean you're harder to hit. Personally, when I aim for someone, I aim for center mass anyway. So if I'm shooting someone directly in the chest and they crouch, they're gonna get shot in the face. So you crouching and standing perfectly still is probably gonna get you headshot sniped. Just keep that in mind. Don't stand still. If you're out in the open, don't stand still while you're healing. I mean, you can't really move while you're healing, but don't be out in the open in the first place. But if you are out in the open and you're not doing anything, if you're just running, don't stand still, don't run in a straight line. When you're being shot at and you're running away, zigzag, okay? Zigzag, don't run in a straight line because you're just gonna get shot in the back. It's almost as if you're not moving. When an enemy is shooting you in the back and you're running away, they're gonna be looking right at you. You're not gonna be moving out of their crosshairs. You're just gonna give them a lot of time to hit a headshot or to hit you. So zigzag, run, turn around a corner, get around trees, rocks, anything that you could put between you and the people that are shooting at you, and just use common sense. Even if you're not being shot at, one thing I like to do that helps me in most of my games is if I feel like I could be shot at any moment, just being paranoid about it. I know it sounds crazy, but if you think you're being shot at, or if you act as if you're always being aimed at, you're gonna take less damage when someone does shoot at you than you're already prepared to move. So another little small tip is don't use up all of your sprint all the time. If you're not being shot at, there's no reason for you to use up all of your sprint. I mean, you can sprint here and there, you want to get places faster, but don't use up all your sprint on a regular basis when you're not in a fight, because what's going to happen is, let's say you just run out of sprint, you start getting shot at, now you can't even move. You can't like sprint and slide jump and do anything really to throw off your opponent's aim. You're a slower moving target and you're going to take a lot of damage, possibly lose the fight while waiting for your sprint to come back. Because then when you naturally try to sprint at a reaction to get away, then you can't, and you're just a sitting duck. So finally, if you want to win more fights, you want to win more engagements, don't sit up in creative and do death runs all day and do prop hunt and think you're gonna get in a battle royale game and do well. I understand that this game can get kind of boring and monotonous just doing games back to back to back, but that's why you actually just play other games. Fortnite has made it convenient by putting creative in so that if you're bored of what you're doing, you don't have to leave Fortnite. You can still play Fortnite, which works for them. The best things for you if you want to get good or want to get better at Fortnite, do gun games, do free-for-alls, do team deathmatch, screw around in Team Rumble or something, but try to use most of your time in this game to get better and improve. It's a game a lot of you play for fun, but it's not really fun if you lose every game. It's not really fun if your friends don't want to play with you because you suck and you die every time you fight a team. If you don't even play solos, there's a good chance that you're not the best that you could be. My advice is to definitely play solos so that you can see where you are on a personal level. Sure, you might get bot lobbies and all your fights are easy, but if you can't win a solo, you're probably not gonna win a 2v1 whenever your partner gets knocked. So instead of only winning games when your partner can revive you and, clutch up a 2v1 every single fight, then what you might wanna do is get good at the game. That's as simple as it is. Like this, the name of this tip is get good at the game. Aim train. Play solos, do gun game and other things that are going to increase your awareness, your fighting skill. You don't want to just hop on this game, die 20 times and then get off. That sucks. That's actually, it's very fruitless. I mean, imagine playing this game for 4 hours a day with 0 wins. I have people who are levels higher than me in Fortnite. They have absolutely no wins whatsoever. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy or gal. It's 2023. Yeah. You don't want to be that guy or girl. You don't want to be that person. Okay. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks, and if it helped you, let me know down in the comments section. Also, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know down in the comments as well. I hope you guys have a great one, and we'll see you next time.